Hello, beautiful Seren stars, and welcome to your reading today. I thought I have been leaving it up to Spirit and the cards to decide what topic comes out, but I thought, you know what? We are in need, especially for those single ones or the ones that are unhappy in relationships. We need a bit of a love reading, okay? So that is what we are going to do. I haven't picked any main tarot cards as such. We have angel cards. We have all kinds of cards. I don't think they've all got a title, but we're just going to shuffle as we go along and see what comes out and be as surprised as everyone else. Okay, there's no pre-planning, no preempting here, which is how I like it. Just to, be surprised. We all like surprises, don't we? Even in love. So yeah, thank you for joining me wherever you are across the world. As always, I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm going to put your charms there. So let's see what the spirit and the cards have for us today on the subject of love. So spirit and the cards, can you bring people messages, or those single people or people in relationships particularly? I mean, those are happy. You can still join in. The messages can, they give me kind of different examples that the same message can fit to, because obviously this is a reading for many people across the world. I wanted to say, if you did want a personal love reading or a picture reading where I connect with your loved ones that have passed over, you can email me. That should be in the link somewhere. I should have my email link, or you can message me from my email, and you can request a reading. For those kind of readings, I like a picture, whether that's of you or the person that's passed away. It could be a picture of a piece of jewelry that belonged to them. Okay, I use the cards as an added on extra because everyone loves them and I love them too. But generally, my main method would have always been and has been tuning into objects or pictures. I mean, these are pictures, so I suppose it's along those lines. It's all psychometry and energy. Everything is energy, so it's just tapping into that and messages from my spirit guides and team. So yeah, if you want your own personal reading, get in touch. We could do short tarot card readings for you about a new job, or whatever subject you would like a personal reading on. Right, so that's your main love card there. Let's shuffle this pack to spirit in the cards. What messages can you bring regarding love for people across the world here? They're telling me to take one. Right, we'll leave that one. What have you been up to this weekend? This is timeless reading, so it doesn't matter if it's not the weekend while you're watching. What have you been up to? Maybe some of you, I'm seeing the word date and I'm seeing people out on dates, so maybe some of you are like getting back out there dating. I keep going dizzy. It's like the energy. Maybe some of you are dating or thinking about getting back out there, but just like needing that courage and that support. That's what I'm being shown here as I'm shuffling. So spirit and the cards, messages you have for people across the globe to do with love. We want mostly a romantic. So my nose is really itching. That usually means surprise, doesn't it, when you've got an itchy nose? What could we bring to do with love, marriage or engagements? We want some exciting. Ooh, that one's jumped over, so I've seen it already, but I will come back to it. Shuffle this one. What do you have for people? We want to know. Spice is fine. I feel for a lot of you, you've either not been in a great relationship, it's been really unhappy, you've been really unhappy, or you've been single a long time, and that could be because of relationship ended, or it could be, sadly because you're a widow. There's all different circumstances many of us can be in. Woo, we'll go for that one. Right, let's get into your reading. Let's go for this first card. Whew, I'm heating up today. Time. You're trying too hard. Give it time. I don't always take the message literally, okay? I feel like more with this message and what I was being shown, it's like you're being very anxious about it, okay? Or you're giving yourself a hard time. That's how I feel with this energy of this card and this message here. It's like you're they give me the word fun. You're not taking it in a fun way. You're taking it very seriously, and that's understandable. If many of you have been single for a long time, it can be quite scary, can't it, getting back out there? I mean, there could be that proportion of you who love it, and you are a great example of those, just having fun, having a good time, and seeing what comes along, what flows along, and it takes off a lot of pressure, doesn't it? And you can sort of breathe, and it opens those opportunities more to different people as well, okay? I'm being given the word swing. I'm not saying that use as swingers, okay? They could be just bringing in the humour here into the relationship, but they're showing me old school dating and people who caught the one person and they're taking it very seriously, and they're getting a bit stressed out. I think they're showing you putting all your eggs in one basket. So I feel for many of you, you are more that old-fashioned type of dating, even the younger ones. And you're fed up of all this, like Tinder and people just being flivorous. I think I've made that word up. People just not taking it seriously, but maybe you've gone completely on the other end of the spectrum and you're just, not opening your heart enough or opening the window enough to different opportunities and different people. There's nothing wrong with, I know it's an old saying, it's probably not the nicest, but trying on different pairs of shoes, until you find the one that you click with and have the most fun with, and that is a kind person and who you find very attractive. They give more that kind of scenarios. Have more fun with this. And I need to take a leaf out of this book, this message here too. And then they're going swinging me back to the swinging kind of people who have perhaps been floating a bit too long, but they really want to settle down, but they've kind of got into this pattern of being like, or maybe through fear. They show me the word fear and protecting their heart. So they're giving me there's a fine balance, isn't there? You don't want to go too crazy one way, but you also don't want to go where you're shutting it down and putting all your eggs in one basket. There's like a fine line and a balance there, isn't there? But they're definitely injecting more fun into your life here. So if you're on the side of the fence that hasn't been having so much fun, they're bringing lots of fun in and joy. And I'm seeing people going on all different dates and doing fun activities. And some of you, they're showing me, may be questioning. I think I may have seen the word fluid on one of these cards, but you're questioning your sexuality even. You may be thinking, you may have evolved and changed and think, well, actually, I might be more into the same sex, or maybe you're not worried what sex it is, or their gender, or non-identifying, or you're quite fluid, so you're exploring that avenue. But they give me the word fear again, so you may be quite like scared to do that because it's like a whole new world. It's like daunting. But they're just, just saying it as long as you're not harming anyone else, and it's all about love and all about fun and connecting with others in a positive way. Maybe talk to someone about that if you're having issues around that. It's maybe kind of the older generation can find it more difficult, but also younger people, due to, I'm seeing the word peer pressure. Even some of your friends, even if they're younger, can still stigmatize it or make fun, or maybe you're just worrying they're going to, but they won't. Also family, it could be cultural reasons. In some countries it's still illegal, unfortunately. So, I send lots of love and healing there for you if that is the case there. Okay, but just, they want to inject more fun into your life, okay? And the single ones have been single a long time. They want you to be single, fun, free, and mingling, and having a good time with it and connecting with new people there. Okay, let's go to that card because that's where I see the fluid, because I did see that as it flipped. May you shift and transform. Okay, so we're talking about changing the way that you think about dating and thinking about yourself and having more fun with it. Okay. Yeah, and fluid, as we are talking about the fluidity, maybe trying out. Maybe you want to date someone the same sex or someone who's non-identifying, or maybe you like someone, you've met someone at work or through hobby who you never would have thought that you would have thought of in that way, but all of a sudden you're having the feels from the feelings, because it could be that you're in love with their personality and their character and their energy. It doesn't always have to do with gender or and all that kind of business. It could be just you're purely in love with that person as that person, their spirit and their soul. Okay, yeah. So they're giving me all these different scenarios here. Again, as you show me someone sort of going out on an adventure and they're packing up their bag for this adventure and they're kind of planning, but they want you to see it as an adventure, and have a good time with it. Okay, yeah, and not be hard on yourself is the words that I'm seeing there. All right, they show me the ring finger again, the engagement ring finger. So some of you are seeing in the future, I'm seeing that. It doesn't mean you're going to be engaged or married. It could just be represent a long-term relationship. Okay, that you're going to be getting into. It could be some of you, they show me an example of being in a long-term relationship and you're unhappy and you're moving on to this new adventure and this new life. Okay, so they're giving you upliftment, encouragement in whatever scenario it is there. That's beautiful. I see two people in a boat there sailing across the water, like these new exciting shores together. I'm seeing always like two peas in a pod, which is a saying like two people like really get on and they really connect, and they're very similar in some ways, and they're perhaps go everywhere together. And I'm seeing the word in love, so that's beautiful there. Okay, which card shall we go for next? Let's go for this one. Oh, wow. Reminds me of a card I just pulled in another reading, and I was talking about emeralds. So you may have watched that reading. Jade, wellness. The recovery of health and wellness is here. How lovely is that? And I'm feeling such a good energy with this and upliftment. Some of you may have, not been well enough to be dating or going out, And I'm seeing the words life changing and your energy changing and you as a person transforming and changing, which I was also getting in the other reading that I gave today, and which you may have watched on another day. That's just beautiful. And we've got the two crystals here. And I was saying about two peas in a pod, and almost, they could be two peas, pea pods in a pod, couldn't they? There, so that matches perfectly. And these, I'm getting the word Kundalini again. This energy. So they give me romantic energy as well. Maybe some of you haven't really felt that, and no one's giving you that feeling, inside, and that butterflies and excitement. Okay, so they're showing this rising and spinning and increasing, someone unlocking that part of you or unlocking part of yourself. We was talking about sexuality being hidden. It's always something that's like exploding there, with this other person here that you'll be meeting, or the one that you finally perhaps end up with, because I feel that there's a lot of going out there and taking on advice and meeting other people, not just putting all your eggs in one basket. Okay, you don't owe someone because you're going on a date something. You can be honest from the beginning and say, look, I really want to meet the one, or I really want to meet lots of different people, to see, different characters, different personalities, and who I click with, as long as you're honest from the start and you base this from honesty and love, there's nothing wrong with that. And if anyone has an issue with that, they're obviously not the one for you. Okay, they can be really restricted, so you don't want to be restricted. I feel a lot of you have been restricted, whether that's in your own thoughts, or person you was with, or culture. They're just showing me different examples of this restriction, but this is just like opening up here. And between these two, this energy is rising and flourishing. And it's like all your chakras there, isn't it? They may not be in order, the colours, but it's reminding me your chakras opening up. Anything else before I move on to the next card? No. Okay. Which card shall I go for next? I'm going to go for this one. 24th of October. I will look up the meaning of the number 24, okay, because that could be quite significant for some of you. But when I look at this, it feels like winter. Obviously, October is winter, but I was talking about the energy. It feels like you've been sort of locked away almost, and not. What's it called? I'm seeing tumbleweeds. The love life hasn't exactly been the most fun or great or most exciting. You've not felt the most loved up in love for a long time. For a vast majority of you, doesn't mean that's going to be for all of you. So for some of you, they're showing an example. It could be not particularly being in love with yourself. So they're talking about healing and transformation there, and the recovery of health and wellness. Okay. But yeah, I think for the majority, this is singles or those that are not happy in a relationship. So it's coming out of that winter, and seeing the sun and the sunrise and feeling those feelings again you perhaps haven't felt, and that warmth and that glow, the glow that you get, and that happiness from being in love with someone else, and the healing that also comes with that. Just being in that energy is very healing. It's not like expecting someone to come along and that make all your life better in that way, but I mean, just being in that bubble of love is such a magical feeling, isn't it? And does help to lighten and brighter each day. And sharing your life with someone. They've shown me the two swans, and we've got two hearts here as well, and then the two, which I see before, the peas in the pod, and then we turned over, and this reminds me like the peas in the pod. Let's go on to the next card. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. And I was seeing like the swingers, and I was seeing the wild side, and then I was seeing that a lot of you have not been too wild, and perhaps you need to be a little bit wilder and have a bit more fun. Okay. And they're opening up new doors and new opportunities, and you decide. Makes sense. It's your decision. I feel for the bunch of you, it's going to be, you're going to be the one more making the decision on the suitors. I think there'd be many suitors or interested people, and you're going to be the one like deciding out of those, because you don't want to end up in a similar situation. You don't want to repeat patterns. Okay. So that's really beautiful. And definitely wild card. I think there's some fun times will be coming along, and just going forward and just going into this, just go for it. Just, take away the fear, take away the anxiety, stop overthinking it. I'm seeing the word overthinking. We want to stop that. Just go forward and enjoy yourself. If you go on a date, doesn't work out, it doesn't matter. You go on another date, spread your wings and try on different shoes there, or different ways of being yourself or experiencing. Okay, let's take the charm. Really lovely little reading here we have. Ooh, I'm going to turn the other way. I'm trying not to fling my nail off. Right, we have the moon. Oh, we have two moons. That just couldn't be more perfect. Okay, we have two moons. And I'm seeing the words, I love you to the moon and back, okay? And we have two stars, and we've had the two peas in the pod. We had the two hearts, and I was seeing the swans, the two swans. That's just a bit magical, isn't it? Okay, so I feel like you are gonna, although you may be experiencing lots of different things and going through lots of different things, or dates, or friendships, or joining new clubs, or sometimes that's a good way to meet new people. It doesn't always have to be like dating sites. It could be new hobbies you're taking up, or joining new clubs, or the church, or whatever it is, and it opens those new doors and those new windows to these new opportunities. Okay, new people. Broaden your horizons is the word that I'm seeing here, and this will get you into that space and that place. where you're going to bump into that person. I'm seeing the words rocks your world. And that's just perfect. I'm really blown away here. I'm slightly lost for words as I'm looking at this. Is there anything else that you can give me before I end this beautiful love reading? They're putting these in my ears like a pair of earrings. So they're showing me someone getting up and getting ready and being excited about being who they are. And they're giving the word sexuality as well, getting in touch with your sexuality. I feel that's been a bit closed off. Okay. So we're opening it here with the new doors. Yeah. So just get out there and shine. Okay. Meet all these different people. And then I think that person is just going to be like walking into your life there. That's beautiful. I thank you so much, Spirit. And the cards says, beautiful, beautiful reading. Love you to the moon and the stars and back. Okay, I feel this with so much love and so much light and so many blessings. I'm excited for you, and I will see you in your next reading. God bless.